I honestly think that polygamy is a terrible idea. I think being raised in the family that I was an absolute blessing. I loved having all of my siblings, my mom, my dad, but I don't think it was fair to my parents. None of them got what they needed out of a marriage. I've only been married for 7 years, but I know what I deserve, and I know what my moms and my dad also deserve. And
polygamy, a social experiment. So what do y'all think of my Kelty's opinion? Does she lose all credibility just because she said this? Is polygamy officially canceled now? I know my Kelty isn't exactly a fan favorite around here, but honestly, I was kind of relieved to hear her speak up so confidently, especially after the kids before her tiptoed around the topic. Like, she's not wrong. Polygamy is pretty much an unfair system, mostly for the women and kids involved. But let's be real, Kody didn't exactly come out of this unscathed either. Sure, Kody didn't suffer in the way most people would think, but he was harmed in a different sense. The dude never got the chance to be challenged or grow. He could have been a better person if he'd focused his energy on something more meaningful. Instead, he spent 3 decades chasing this dream, and what does he have to show for it? Absolutely nothing. No heavenly reward, no thriving family, no supportive community, and let's not even talk about that amazing reputation he's built for himself as a failure. For the first time, I actually agree with my Kelty, until her last line. Like, what exactly does Kody think he deserved that he didn't get? What was he entitled to? Let's be real, polygamy is a totally outdated, patriarchal construct that's not doing anyone any favors. It's downright sexist, and honestly, it should be canceled. The women who grow up in these restrictive religions, denying them any sense of self, are the real victims here. Honestly, the only way polygamy could work is if the wives aren't all that into their husband. As a single mom, the idea of sharing the responsibilities and joys of raising kids with a group of other women sounds kind of nice, but let's face it, who needs the man in that situation? When it comes to the actual wife/husband dynamics, no one's getting the emotional intimacy or real support they deserve. It's just not healthy. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Robyn's ability to lie is practically an art form, and Season 17 is proof. Let's break down her amazing inconsistency for a second, shall we? In Episode 8, when Robyn talks to Mary about Christine leaving, she drops this bombshell. Truth be told, Mary, she was talking about leaving Kody before we moved to Flagstaff. Oh really? Because in the very next episode, Robyn seems to have completely forgotten that tidbit. In Episode 9, during the whole knife in the kidneys moment with Kody, Christine explains that some of the older kids had asked her why she didn't just leave Kody. Robyn, of course, immediately jumps in with her classic response. Why were they asking that? Christine, doing her best to stay calm, explains that the kids noticed how disconnected she and Kody had been, even in Vegas, and that their relationship was clearly struggling. And then Robyn, the queen of denial, smacks down with, "In Vegas?" like she's just discovered some huge lie. Christine, staying composed, confirms, but Robyn's not having it. Okay, that's a lie, she insists. She goes on to claim that she remembers all these happy moments between Christine and Kody, dates, fun times, the whole 9 yards. So wait, which is it, Robyn? Did you know Christine was planning to leave, or were you blissfully unaware of their crumbling relationship? Pick a lane, please. It's honestly hard to keep up with Robyn's narrative because she's constantly moving the goalposts. 1 minute, she's implying that Christine was secretly planning her escape, and the next, she's suggesting that Christine faked her entire relationship with Kody. Robyn's behavior is so clearly designed to make Christine look like the villain in front of the cameras, sneaky, lying, and plotting behind everyone's backs. But here's the thing, Robyn, you can't have it both ways. Either you knew or you didn't. Make up your mind. And then there's that whole bizarre conversation about the porch and the divorce, where Robyn's spiraling so hard. She ends up taunting Christine with this, "Will you still be my friend?" nonsense. Of course, Kody has to jump in with his ridiculous kidney fit, further proving how little control anyone in this mess has. Seriously, how did Christine keep it together and not just completely lose it? I know I would have been done by then. What's really wild is Robyn straight up accusing Christine of being a liar. How does she even know what Christine was feeling? Kody supposedly doesn't talk about his relationships with the other wives. So how in the world would Robyn have any insight into Christine's struggles? She's constantly shifting her position, as if the truth is whatever she needs it to be at the moment. The gaslighting is real, and while the cameras catch a fraction of it, I'm sure this is just the tip of the iceberg. Oh, and don't even get me started on the one-home fiasco. Kody says Christine ruined the whole idea, destroying the family, but Robyn, who didn't even want the one-home idea in the first place, somehow escapes any blame. Was she lying when she said she was all for it? Because it sure seems like it. Honestly, it's hard to keep track of what's real anymore in this circus. Robyn's got a lot of explaining to do, but I doubt we'll ever get the full truth. Robyn's real reason for denial and heartbreak is almost too much to handle. She really thought she could give Kody the forever honeymoon experience. How sweet, right? She was all over it, proudly claiming that it was totally possible, even when Janelle chuckled at how Maeve that idea was. Robyn stuck to her guns, insisting it could work. Fast forward to now, though, and reality is coming for her dream like a wrecking ball. It's hard to keep up a honeymoon vibe when your spouse is leaving toenail clippings on the floor and blocking the toilet, if you catch my drift. No more first date courtesy when it comes to the farts, and that fairy tale is fading fast. At first, sure, it was easy to maintain the honeymoon fantasy. He'd leave and she'd get a break. But now, she's stuck with him 24/7, playing second fiddle to his hair care routine. I'm sure it's a blast living with Kody, especially since he's constantly throwing tantrums about his ex-wives being disloyal and his kids ghosting him. Honestly, I doubt he's got much time to talk about chicken tendies and Robyn because he's so busy talking about everyone else. But here's the thing, Robyn has no one to hide behind anymore. Remember that one big house plan? The first time, she conveniently hid behind Christine. Then, when Janelle brought it up after Christine was gone, Robyn acted like she'd been totally mistreated and claimed it wasn't even feasible now. She never once took responsibility for her vote against Kody's idea. What's going to happen when Kody throws out a big plan and Robyn disagrees with him? They've never had to deal with that before. I'm sure Kody's whole view of her will change fast if she doesn't keep delivering that honeymoon magic. And let's be real, if he suggests downsizing or cashing out when there's only 2 kids left and the TLC money dries up, it's not going to end well. Kody will definitely look back and reassess the situation, especially if she starts racking up credit card debt again when the cash flow slows. Plus, now that the other adults aren't footing the bill for her lifestyle, it's a lot harder to live in luxury while doing nothing. Can't imagine it's as fun anymore when you don't have anyone else picking up the slack. And listen, I'm not the type to mock anyone's appearance. I'm definitely not winning any beauty contests myself. But even I've noticed her gray roots are creeping out more than usual lately. Makes me wonder if she's skipping a few salon visits now that the money's getting tight. Oh, where do I even begin? My absolute favorite moment from the wedding? Easily when David spent a solid 3 days hanging string lights outside the venue, and for no reason at all. That's definitely what everyone remembers about a wedding, right? Oh wait, scratch that. It was when Janelle, in true dramatic fashion, threatened to boot Robyn's kids out of the family forever because they couldn't manage the complex task of signing an RSVP. That definitely stole the show. And I can't forget the magical moment when Christine and David walked down the aisle and Rex, her dad, just casually reached out to David and said, "Love you." I bet Kody was really feeling the love too, especially considering he's probably so bored out of his mind with Robyn and her 2.5 children who aren't allowed to grow up. Not to mention the 2 tender asterisks, what even are those, and their rebellious ear piercings. I'm sure that was just the thrill of a lifetime compared to stringing up lights for 3 days. But my absolute favorite was seeing Kody's heartwarming moment of being left out. Oh, the joy of watching the Brown family mosh pit go on without him, FOMO at its finest. Honestly, it was a highlight of the episode, seeing him so, well, lonely. Nice OP, you nailed it. The episode was a blast, just pure love, celebration, family reunions, and dancing. Who doesn't love a little chaotic happiness? I'm all in. The timing of Ariela's birth? Let's talk about it. So Kody and Robyn had Solomon pretty early into their spiritual marriage, like blink and you miss it early. Then, about 5 years went by before they had another kid. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I was watching a video the other day, and someone floated the idea that Robyn might have deliberately held off on having more kids until she became Kody's legal wife. The theory is that she was trying to lock in her spot and protect herself financially. And I gotta say, I never noticed it until now, but Ariela popped out exactly 1 year after Robyn got that legal marriage stamp. Now, I'm not saying she definitely manipulated Kody, but it's a little suspicious, don't you think? I mean, she did play the "another man is interested in me" card to get him to propose in the first place. So, is it so far-fetched to think she could have said, "No more kids until I'm the legal wife"? Given her history of, shall we say, creative negotiations, it's not totally out of the question. Let's be real, we all know she's used her uterus as a bargaining chip before. Remember the whole "I can't have a baby unless I get help with my sister wife's closet" line. So yeah, it's not hard to believe she could have played that game here too. And honestly, knowing how desperate she was for a baby as soon as she got that legal title, it's a little sus that there was such a long gap between kids. Plus, I'm pretty sure the 5-year break wasn't a coincidence. It was probably more about Solomon heading to school soon and Robyn not wanting to be tied down with a newborn, especially when it meant she could avoid getting a job. Oh, and let's not forget, she did pull the "I'm too busy with MSWC" excuse when the other wives weren't helping her, right? And it's hilarious, in the most tragic way, that in one of Kody's interviews, yes, Brody himself, he said something like, "Truly won't see David as a father figure because she knows I'm her dad." Sir, where have you been? Dad is more than DNA. At this point, Truly and Savannah probably see Kody as little more than a biological contributor. Isabel too. The only ones who still call him dad are Robyn's kids, and that's because he actually stuck around for them. Remember when Kody said Robyn's kids gave him a second chance at fatherhood because they were still young? Truly is 1 year older than Solomon. Can you imagine hearing your dad say that and realizing he chose someone else's family over you? Just like Isabel, who had to listen to her dad say he couldn't come to her surgery because his family needed him, as if she wasn't part of it. But truly, man, she's thriving. 13 years old and already cooler, calmer, and more self-aware than most adults I know. So yeah, she's got a lot of creative reasons for not expanding the family sooner. Honestly, I can't help but think she got really lucky that no one in the family was petty or vindictive. Because, if you remember, she was just a few months away from being in the same position as Christine was when she had Truly. The timing, folks, always so perfect. Oh, where do we even start with Kody's stellar track record as a provider? First off, why on earth was Janelle's 401 used to pay off Robyn's debt? Just a small detail. Where's Kody's 401 in all this? Oh, right, probably not around because it's clear he's been skating by on the hard work of his wives. And let's not forget that Janelle left the family and then came back and bought the first house. Kody? Oh, he's too busy being a great dad. Except being a fun dad doesn't exactly pay the bills or feed the kids. Here's a thought. Being the fun dad doesn't make up for the fact that your kids are hungry while you drive around in a sporty two-seater. It's like the definition of a bad dad, honestly. The older kids had to step up and parent while he sat back, probably wondering where his next handout was coming from. How does that even qualify as good dad behavior? But let's keep it real. He should have been working multiple jobs, doing anything to support his massive family, or maybe, just maybe, he should have stopped having kids he couldn't afford. The laziness is off the charts. But hey, this is typical in these polygamous setups where the man reigns supreme and the women are left to hustle. Then, Kody decides to just stop working when the show comes around. Why? Because clearly TLC money was gonna cover everything, right? Wrong. They still couldn't afford things and were living well beyond their means. A grown man, 40 to 50 years old, with 18 kids and just stops working. Like, why not? Christine was right. This is a big deal. For truly to trust a man again, let alone see someone as a father figure, that speaks volumes. Maybe it wasn't hard for her, or maybe she just made it look easy, but either way, it's beautiful to witness. And look, all I needed was that photo of truly trying to bite David on IG. That's it. That's love. Cute aggression is a real thing, y'all. We do that with the people we feel safest with. I hope she gets every ounce of love, safety, and support she missed out on with her BO dad. She deserves all of it and more. Yes, the pregnant with Ariella announcement episode, because nothing screams unity like Robyn making everything about her. She briefly admits that maybe, just maybe, the other kids didn't react so well to the Solomon announcement because, I don't know, their lives were kind of falling apart at the time. But does that stop her from launching back into her usual monologue about how she's the victim? Of course not. Heaven forbid we forget that Robyn needed to be selfish and tell her kids first, because clearly the other children have just been a source of endless torment for her. And just when you think it can't get worse, she recruits Mary. Yes, the same Mary who had her own fertility heartbreak and was shot down by Kody for even suggesting IVF, to make the big pregnancy announcement to the entire family. What a thoughtful friend. Let's be real. Robyn never intended to blend families. She came in with her own storyline locked and loaded. This poor me, they never accepted my kids' routine, was baked in from day one. That way, when everything inevitably falls apart, she can shrug and say, see, we were never welcomed. Masterful manipulation, really. What's most infuriating is how she's built this moat around her and her kids. The rest of the family? They're just supporting characters in the Robyn show, brought in to applaud her every move, never mind genuine mutual support or shared moments. The wives will take care of it, right? Honestly, the guy should be ashamed of himself. He's not a king, he's a princess in the worst way. If it weren't for TLC, they'd probably be living on ramen noodles. And let's be real, Kody's fear of poverty isn't because he actually cares, it's because he's just that dumb. Wow, truly had me tearing up when she brought out the rings and hugged both Christine and David. That moment was real, so genuine with David. Unlike those painfully awkward scenes with Kody when they were packing up and moving. Truly will end up spending more one-on-one time with David before she leaves home than she ever did with Kody in her entire childhood. No matter what title she gives him, David is the father figure in her life now, and honestly, that might be the best possible outcome. I just watched the episode again. Everyone was genuinely excited, like actually happy for her. But Robyn still managed to preemptively sulk, just in case someone might not worship her announcement. And don't even get me started on her twisting Hunter's words. He said, I'm excited. I hope this one's just like Saul. Robyn retells it as, if this baby's anything like Saul, I'll be happy. Girl, it's on. Tape? We literally just heard what he really said. And let's not forget her grumbling about the other wives not helping with the failing my sister wife's closet project. "I can't have another baby. I'm doing all of this on my own," she whined, right before, you guessed it, getting pregnant again. But she did take full credit for the half-blue, half-pink paint job in what looked like a glorified closet. Brava, Robyn. Just brava. TLC, can you please get a clue? Kody is making everyone uncomfortable, and yet, here we are, still watching. I heard a little rumor that he wants to control the OG3. Wants to see raw footage. Oh sure, because who wouldn't want to tune in to watch that drama? If the show actually focused on the OG3, their kids and grandkids, I might just be glued to the screen. But no, instead, we're stuck with the Kody and Robyn circus. Honestly, I've started fast-forwarding through their parts. After Christine and David's wedding, I'm seriously considering watching a week behind just so I can skip over Kody and Robyn's nonsense without missing anything. Can we talk about Christine and Janelle's cooking show though? Now that is a breath of fresh air. Honestly, I'd love to see family vacations, small moments with the kids and moms, real moments. But no, we're stuck hearing the same tired conversations every week. And after Kody and Robyn made those disgusting comments about violence against women, it's honestly shocking that they're still on the show. They're adding zero value, except maybe to drag the whole thing down. I fast-forward through most of their scenes. Every time I didn't, I regretted it. They're pathetic liars and grifters, and the OG3 were the ones carrying the show. It's honestly pathetic that we're still watching them. Their kids are like brainwashed zombies, and the whole situation just makes me cringe. TLC, stop pretending we need the drama. They're the last thing we want to see. Since Kody admitted he never loved the OG3, it's clear the whole thing was a sham from the start. Let's focus on the OG3 moving on with their lives and leave the grifters behind. We're done with them. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.